we're launching a series of Facebook Live events. I'm inviting you to see firsthand what's happening on the streets of Ramsey County and to share the work of our office. From the jail to the courts to the waterways and on the streets. We'll talk with you about community safety and much more. And we'll have an honest conversation. Checks, wallets, anything else of value that they can find. So we did have a couple of those. Those usually start up early in the spring in all of the county parks where there's large parking lots. Some places people can sit and observe people get out of their cars. And as a lot of people.
Copy. Thank you. Yeah. Self-circle.
2160.
Greetings. Well, we're back. It's Monday night, about 9:15. Just in front of the Capitol. I thought that was such a beautiful shot. we'd start here tonight. Of course, the legislative session is over, but I'm sure there'll be another one here in the next month or so. Thank you for everybody that sent texts and friend requests. I'm sure I haven't got all the messages and the texts, but it's great to know that you enjoyed our first night out last Friday. You can also let me know if the audio, if everything works good. We're at University Avenue, just by the Capitol. It's been a relatively slow night, although there were some shots fired at Selby and Avon earlier tonight. About an hour and a half ago, squads recovered some casings there, but no indication of victim. Earlier today, during the day, there was a gunshot wound victim that showed up at the hospital from out in Battle Creek. And so, we're working on that case as well.
Strike 1, can you change ours to a PPV, please? Show us available.
Just remember that as we head, right now we're in the Central District of St. Paul. We're on St. Paul's Channel 2 is our primary. We are scanning the other 5 channels. Most of you probably, well, hopefully maybe you monitored some of the first broadcast, but there's 6 different frequencies in Ramsey County used for primary dispatch. And St. Paul has 3, and then the suburbs have 3. There was a couple thefts from county parks earlier tonight. And I just want to remind everyone that that's a prevalent thing during the summer. And primarily what people are looking for when they do that are purses. And so a lot of these thieves will sit in the parking lot and just watch people park. And one of their primary MOs is if a woman gets out of a car without her purse, then they suspect that the purse is in the car, because most women carry their purse with them most places they go. And so they know if they get out, there's likely a purse under the seat or in the trunk. And so they're looking for credit cards, checks, wallets, anything else of value that they can find. So we did have a couple of those. Those usually start up early in the spring in all of the county parks where there's large parking lots. Some places people can sit and observe people get out of their cars. And a lot of people leave their cars unlocked, but even the ones that lock their car, it's surprising how quick they can
3-2-23.
smash a window and get in. Now we're into the Western District. When we crossed Western there, we went into the Western District. And so we're headed up here. We're westbound on University at Dale.
6-8 space, 2119.
I'll try not to cover too much of the stuff we covered
You sent me
in the earlier ones.
and I'll give him a call.
But again, this is where I started my career, up here on University Avenue between Dale and Snelling. And a lot of great memories of working up here with my old partners, Pat Finnegan, Bob Luna, and then Mike Beeson before I was promoted. And then when I got promoted to sergeant, I ended up going over to the west side, and we haven't been over there yet, but
hanging out outside. You want to remove Asian males 30s, Fin 5-4, Fletcher. 179 copy. 2120.
so 179 just received a call on a disorderly conduct at 227 Fuller. Sounds like a family member is outside. They just want him removed. Those are tough calls sometimes because family wants help, but they don't want the person arrested. Of course, sometimes those, when you're trying to help the family, sometimes it turns into a confrontation. It's always domestic related issues are sometimes problematic. So we're gonna take a turn here. Put the light there, we'll take a turn and go back to 227 Fuller. Beautiful night out, nice and cool. Officers like it when it's under 80 because these bulletproof vests are no fun when it's over 80 degrees. Put all your body heat in there as well. Oh, that's a reminder, if you got a question, text me. 651-448-3810. I think that's the number. 651-448-3810. I can't see those texts while I'm driving, but I'd be glad to look them up. And oh, by the way, thank you for whoever sent me those Twinkies. I got a box of Twinkies sent to my office yesterday, and looking forward to having some of those later. Although I gotta admit, I ate half of them earlier today in the office. We did have, as you know, last night, we'll go drive by there. Last night, on Sunday night, we had a murder up on the 600 block of Charles and Edmond. Well, Charles in the alley between Charles and Edmond. Actually, the cross street was St. Albans, but it's St. Paul's 19th murder. Gotta say hi to the firefighters over there, sitting out in front of the fire station. Oh, feel free to share this video with your friends.
Clear West. Show me out 4th and Sibley.
I guess there is a limit of 4 hours a day for live streaming.
Have your clear bags go with
This is what I've been told, but
Sir, I'll be on
try to do this a couple days a week.
Copy and thank you. 2123.
Every time I drive down here, I'm going to tell you a funny story. Well, it's certainly not a funny story, but a story about Joseph Turry. When I was a young patrolman, Joseph Turry lived over here off of Inglewood and Victoria, but he used to hang out down at the bars here. There used to be a bar called the Clover Club and others. And my partner Mike Beeson and I would run into him on a regular basis. Sometimes we get calls on him harassing women. And one time, one of his MOs was to go to the gas stations and get in line behind women and watch them write their checks. He would wait till they would get to the counter, and he would watch them write their checks, and then he'd get their address. Some people had their phone numbers on their checks back then too. And so Joe would then go to their house and try to connect with them and act like he knew them. His other MO was to slightly rear end a woman in her car and force them. By law, she was required to get out and give her information on where she lived. And then his final MO was to just go to restaurants and just sit there and try to hit on the waitresses. Well, we arrested him for one criminal sexual conduct, which he was convicted of, but he later was the one that kidnapped and killed Helen Edwards from West St. Paul. And I ended up testifying in that trial because he killed her with a similar buck knife to the one that we had taken off him at the time. But the closer to the story is he used to drive around in a station wagon, and all of his clothes were strangely neatly folded in the back of his station wagon. He pretty much lived out of his car, Joseph Turry. And he lived out of his car, and when Helen Edwards was found, I think it was Carlos Avery Park where her body was found, not positive, it was some state park. Her clothes were neatly folded next to the grave that he had dug for a shallow grave. But it just is a reminder that habits like that, sometimes you have to remember their MO and their habits, because we didn't really put two and two together. Obviously, that wasn't solved by us, but after we understood all the pieces, we realized. Gentlemen, that's probably the brother right there. We're down here by 277 Fuller now. Let's say hi to these people. How's it going tonight? Beautiful night? Nice and getting a little cooler finally, huh? A little cooler? Yeah. Have a good one. So, people from the senior citizen home there, sitting out enjoying the air. So we're at 240 West. I don't see the squad here yet. At 227. We'll peek around the corner here. $247. How's it going?
Fletcher, 82.
I don't see the squad here, but I also don't see anybody hanging
Can we
outside.
just get one more squadron team?
36 for First Park Coach is this?
361 was clear with you.
361 copy. I'm ready.
We'll just hang here, right? 227, right at the corner of Fuller and Marion.
27.
She just wants her brother
He had
removed.
just 12 Maryland Avenue. See color, but a male
Fuller-
on a
Fuller and
bicycle
Marion.
was grabbing color in front of the building. He was Asian male wearing a
Just
black
gonna
hat.
turn
black
around
shirt,
and get a better
blue
angle on the
jeans,
street.
black on a Maryland. Color would like to see you in person. If you have a
Copy now.
at 2128.
There's no fight involved. It's just the female caller wants help having her brother removed. Sometimes you're not even sure if we should get in the middle of these. But it is our job to keep the peace. That's why we do it. Come out the door. Did he leave? Okay, so your brother did leave, but he broke the window?
383.
Your brother left, but he broke the window? Yeah, come on, you come on down and tell me the story. We'll take a report. What's his name? How old is he? Okay, Sutao. All right. Well, the squad's going to be here any minute to take the report. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't still here bothering you.
Yeah, he ran off like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, he did. And did he have a car or was he walking?
He was walking.
Walking? Which way did he go?
That way.
Okay, so he broke one window.
He broke this window. He threw something at me and my daughter.
Where does he live usually?
I don't know. I evicted him out like 4 days ago.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to put. Does he have? Is he on drugs?
Yeah.
Which kind?
Meth.
Meth?
Yep.
That is a problem, isn't it?
That's the reason. One of the reasons why I evicted him, because
Yeah.
I caught him and his girlfriend smoking meth. And I was like, no, you guys need to get out of my house.
All right. Well, these officers, are you guys taking this call or not? He left 30 minutes ago, but she'd like to make a report on the broken window. He's a meth addict, and he terrorizes them on a regular basis. Yeah, I'm out of here. Ma'am, they're going to take your report.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, the St. Paul car there is there. He's gone. So Remember, if you have any questions, text me.
Bravo
What is that number? 651-448-3810. That's the thing about this job is there's so many domestic related calls. The people that loved each other 2 hours earlier now are calling the police on each other. Alright, we'll sneak. Actually, I want to go back. We'll go back down University Avenue here. Anyhow, Joe Turry was arrested for the Helen Edwards, tried and convicted. And turned out that they did some more research on him, and they actually tied him to murders in Stillwater that were unsolved for quite some time. And always right under our nose, you know. Always right under our nose. Here's the thing about police work, the one thing I've known, there's only a limited number of really bad people. And if law enforcement is able to track career criminals and just focus on the ones that are repeat offenders, because there's a very small number that just continue to do crime on a regular basis. And that's why we established a career criminal unit at the sheriff's office, and since I've been back, we've attempted to reestablish that. We're working on, reestablishing it, because whether it's a burglar or a catalytic converter thief or a rapist or a robber, they don't change their MO that much once they get comfortable with the way they do things. They'll just keep doing it. At some point, I'll talk about the different types of burglars that there are. There's four different types of burglars, and the most dangerous, of course, are the ones that come in while you're sleeping, the occupied home burglar. But that's only about 15% of the burglars. Of course, in that 15% is the most dangerous, and only in about 3% of that, only 1/5 of those ones that are occupied is there a confrontation. But when there is a confrontation, somebody can get hurt inside the home. So
5183 and 5181.
most burglars are actually daytime burglars when you're away at work. And then there is evening burglars that drive around in the fall and the spring, look for your lights to be out between 5:30 and 8. They know if your lights are out between 5:30 and 8 that you're probably not home. And then, of course, there's garage burglars, people that just focus on breaking into your garage. And those are the 4 residential type of burglars. And then the 5th would be the commercial burglar that likes to hit between 2 and 3 in the morning and sometimes goes through the roof, sometimes through the door. That's not as prevalent anymore just because of the alarm systems have become so good. See what we got for calls here.
Information about the fresh stolen pending from 1282 5th Street East. Taken while running. He's in a Delta Echo Lima 791. It's a blue Mazda 6 hatchback. Information. 125.
Delta Echo Lima 791, a blue Mazda hatchback. It's a fresh
8197.
Delta Echo Lima. That's Delta for D for Delta. Echo is E. Lima L. Delta Echo Lima.
Sitting outside on the grass watching people enter and exit. He doesn't live in the neighborhood. 20-year-old black male wearing a white shirt, gray sweater around his waist, and cut off pants.
96 West Kobe.
2136.
How's it going tonight, guys? Have a good one. So beautiful out here tonight. Oh, flash my lights to say hi to those people. This poor guy from outstate thought I was trying to pull him over.
Go for both.
1544 Lavender Pizza Hut from customer being verbally threatening the comp. 20-year-old black male, blue and gray sweatshirt, left the building, unknown direction, 2 minutes ago.
So if you do get a scanner app, or if you get a scanner itself, this, you know, obviously the scanner, a real scanner that's programmed digitally, is better than the scanner app. But besides the districts being divided up on the frequencies, the cars starting with 4,000, those are Maplewood cars. So when you hear of 4,000, 4,400, the cars starting with 5,000, those are Roseville cars. The cars starting with 2,400, 2,100, 2,000, those are all Ramsey County cars. And then White Bear is 9,000. They were the last ones to join the coordinated dispatch. New Brighton is the 8,000, and then Mounds View the 7,000.
622 traffic.
And then of course St. Paul is 100, 200, and 300. Although they also have
Front right with Charlie Victor Echo
456. 4, 5, 6. Anything less than 1,000 is generally.
Grayson, what was your cross?
Nice in front.
Front Street.
2138.
Back westbound on University. Again, Mondays are relatively quiet. People had worn out from the weekend.
2372 squads arriving.
Copy.
2372, that's a county car arriving on that disorderly
277.
disorderly conduct up on Larpenter and Snelling.
277.
We'll slide up into the suburbs a little bit later tonight as well.
634.
Robert and Caesar Chavez for a fight. Colors have backpack, 2 males physically fighting behind a red van that is parked across the street from the liquor store. One was wearing a red shirt. Second was wearing a white shirt. Copy.
Robert and Caesar Chavez over on the west side. Caesar Chavez,
634 copy. Millingren Energy Park.
that's the old Concord.
539.
273.
273.
You can cancel both of them. We'll both there.
Copy 277 and 634. You can both be clear.
And remember the 200 cars there, that's the central cars, and they're canceling those other cars from going.
634 10-8, no BWC.
When that's
2140.
634 is a canine car, he was going to go to that call, but he was canceled, and he noticed the dispatcher that there's no BWC, which means because he didn't really get into his car, there's no body worn camera for that 10 seconds that he was en route there. All the officers.
You know, I've always paid for a fight supposed to be at 4th and Sibley.
4th and Sibley at 2140.
All the officers are required to turn their cameras on
533.
when they get in their car and head to the call.
At 2141.
So westbound
501, same traffic.
westbound on University from Lexington.
At 2140. At 2144.
283, same traffic.
Last spot.
283, same traffic.
2141.
So back to University in Hamlin here.
5182.
5182.
Dale and Iona for an accident. 2142.
You know, I'm not going to comment. I was up here the night of the riots. I have a lot of stories that someday I'll probably tell, but it's just maybe time to leave that in our past.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't think so.
So we'll go north on Snelling, and then we'll head back to Central, over to the west side. It sounds like the west side is a little busier tonight.
Fortunately, let me know if you need medics.
You know, at some point we might move this format off of my account onto the sheriff's account, so more people can actually get notified. So if you haven't already, when you get time, not now, but go to the Sheriff's Department, Ramsey County Sheriff's Office Facebook page and like that page. We don't put a lot of stuff on there, but in case we get more people than we can handle on a normal personal page, we'll post these on that page. So Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, just like the page, and then I think you'll get notifications from us. Actually, I just drove by a church there. I can't hardly drive by that church without remembering Cassie Hansen. I don't know if you are old enough to recall, but probably one of the most horrific events in my young history. I was a young sergeant, 1981, patrolling the west sector, and family called and said that their daughter had disappeared. 6-year-old daughter had disappeared. I think Jehovah Lutheran Church. And it's on the left there. And they came here for a Christmas program in the auditorium. There's the church right there. There's the front door. They came there for a Christmas program. It was 10 to 7. They were getting ready for the program. And the young 6-year-old wanted to go use the bathroom. And she headed up the stairs to use the bathroom and never came back. And so they called on the missing child, and of course we're all hoping for the best. So this entire neighborhood, for blocks, we searched for several hours. This is 1981, November 1981. We didn't really have video like we do now, or know whose car might have been parked there. But so actually Pat Scott, worked that case, Jim Groh, Rick Klein, who just passed away, a St. Paul police officer, Rick Klein, who just passed away, he was very involved. All the West Sector guys were searching frantically for Cassie. But at some point, keep in mind this is November, it's relatively cold. Sorry if I rolled that. And we're searching, and at some point it hits us that she's probably been abducted. Well, it would be some time before we knew what happened, but thanks to Dorothy Noga, who worked at a massage parlor in the area. He confessed to her first, and then through a series of events he confessed to several others, but he tried to kill Dorothy Noga at the massage parlor that she worked at down in Minnehaha and Milton there. I'll drive you by there later. And Dorothy was just so courageous to testify against him, and turned out that there was a cab driver named Stuart Knowlton that had a habit of parking right in front of the church there on Snelling, and he came in, and while she was going up the steps, he grabbed her, took her in to his cab, killed her, and eventually we searched for her for hours. I was actually in a helicopter that morning looking for her, being in the alleys or anywhere else, but turned out she was in a dumpster down on the Grand and Grotto. But I kept her picture on my desk until he was convicted, Stuart Knowlton, and then he died in prison. Well, that's another depressing story, huh? But it's just a reminder of that there are evil people out there that can snatch your life away or your loved one away in a very short period of time. So remember, if you got any questions, 651-448-3810. We don't have a lot of calls going on tonight, but we'll try to head over to the east side. That might help.
$24.31.
2431.
7107.
2431, go ahead.
Good service reserve badge 934. I will be in the North Park closer.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you got any areas you want to see that are part of your past, let me know where you want to go.
7107, where are you calling?
Sorry, fireworks complaint 7639 Edgewood Drive. Code for.
Like I mentioned, I usually start around 10, just because it doesn't get too busy till 10:15.
Yes, man.
Can you look me up?
Yep.
Quiet, as you can tell, a little quiet on the radio tonight. I apologize. Didn't fall asleep tonight. Not me, but you guys. I'm going to pull over and read a few questions here before we head downtown, see if there's anything else going on down there. All right. So some people are asking me to go to the east side, over there, roam around over on Rose Street.
Yeah, the American one custody 551.
4th and Sibley. Some people would like us to check that out down there. See, deputizing people. We don't have the authority to deputize people that aren't police officers anymore. That used to be the case. The sheriffs could do that. But now in the state of Minnesota, can't do that any longer. Everybody has to have a license. Yeah, people are asking me about how do I feel about the defund police. Well, obviously, I don't think there is an alternative available anywhere that can, as I mentioned in our earlier videos, it's just you have to have so many tools in your tool belt in order to do this job, and it'd be great if some people would accompany us with mental health or addiction expertise. Now, I have a bad habit of occasionally, normally I'm not transmitting, okay? So everybody develops habits over 40 years when you're in the squad car. So once in a while, when I'm thinking or processing, you'll hear me make some, strange noises once in a while. Well, it drives my wife crazy, just so you know. So I apologize. I'm going to do my very best to, when I say strange, it's like, it's a thinking, processing noise. So I'm going to do my best, but it beats smoking. That's my theory. I never did smoke, but everybody's got their thing. So some people would like to go over to Victoria in Inglewood. I'm going to drive up there a little bit. Oh, I did it again, see? We're scanning all the channels, so if you're wondering why it's so quiet, it's just quiet. It's just quiet. It will get busier. On the way over here, I'm going to drive down through the alley there where there was murder last night.
260.
You do a welfare check of 508 Humboldt. Caller is the administrator for Wilder Apartments and says is concerned that an anonymous tip that the resident of apartment 305 is being taken advantage of by a person in there who is a known drug dealer and known to take care of the mentally incapacitated.
Receive.
2155.
Try to head over there after we roam through here. So we're on Victoria, just for those of you that weren't following it, in St. Paul.
273.
273.
Nobody fighting here, so this will be GOA. 277 and 634. We'll be en route to the grid detail.
Anyhow, there's 240 numbers to every half mile. Long blocks, then there's 4 long blocks and a half mile, so that is 60 numbers. So Victoria is 860. We're going east, and Avon is going to be 800. And so we'll work our way through here, east on Charles. I'll roll the window down. It isn't unusual to hear shots fired down here at this time of night. So if we take 800 and minus 60, will be at 740 at Grotto.
Amir Park, 2156.
And then, of course, we'll be at 680. When we get to St. Albans. Last night, the people from 662 Edmond called on the north side of this alley, and the fight had been on the south side. So this is the alley where a young man's body was found.
536.
This is domestic related, and of course the 16-year-old was taken into custody.
542 Robert Street North. Audible alarm covering shop motion. Keys are non-responsive.
And it does not look like we're going to be able to get through this alley. Well, here's the family right here. Very sorry. No. Come here, man, please. Were you related to the man that was killed? Can you guys move that car, please? So basically, this is not the family. This is down the street, but there's another Corinne family having a party in the backyard. We'll talk to this gentleman.
Hello, sir.
How's it going? Very sorry for your loss. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, very sad, huh? Be a little what? Yeah, no problem. Okay. You guys know, I know. You guys, no problem. No problem. Very sorry for your loss. Very sorry. Very sorry for your loss. Let me just get out and say hi. Very sorry for your loss. Very sorry for your loss. Very terrible. Very sorry. You don't have to move the car.
It's okay, sir. Yeah. We appreciate it, sir.
You just leave the car there.
We appreciate it, sir. We appreciate it, sir.
Just celebrate.
It's all good, sir.
Very sorry. Very
We
sorry.
appreciate it, sir.
Very sorry. Very sorry. You guys want any masks at all or not? You want here? Huh? Very sorry.
Respect the boss.
You guys want, here, I'm gonna leave. You want any of these? Yeah. You don't have to. There's 10 in each package, okay?
Thank you,
10 in each package. Yeah. There's 10 of them in each one. Pass them out. 10 of them in each one. 10 of them in each one. Pass them out. In case anybody needs some masks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I felt like you came here, there's something problem on it.
So very sorry. Well,
When you're just for my day, you know,
yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. Very, you know, one of does your uncle work for the sheriff's office?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we work for the sheriff's office. Respect. Yeah.
You do have a respect, sir.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
Sir, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let you guys go and
sorry,
drink.
sir.
No, thank you.
You give a respect.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm very, very sorry. Is that his mom?
No, my
His
son,
wife?
his son. Oh, yeah, his son.
I'll come back in a couple hours and check on you guys. All right? All right. See you guys later. Well, that is the family of the deceased. And very sad deal. I didn't mention this, but the deceased was a Korean man, and it's the first, actually the suspect was a Korean juvenile. It's the first homicide in the Korean community that we've had. And hopefully I can back out of here without hitting any garbage cans. Oh, I didn't hit a garbage can, but it sounds like a rock. Let's see if that's a piece of grass. That was just a glass that had fallen out of their garbage. Hello. Good. How are you? Yeah, we're good. I thought I ran over a glass, a bottle or something. We're good. It's garbage day tomorrow. So the Korean community obviously is our most recent immigrant community. They're brutalized and oppressed in and around Burma, and been relatively crime-free. We really have had little or no crime. Little or no crime in that community. But like everything, I stopped a carload of Korean kids here recently, and they had paintball guns with them. This was back before school. It wasn't recently, I guess it'd be like March. They said they bring them with them to protect themselves. Obviously a paintball gun isn't much protection. So we'll go on patrol. We'll check back on the group, see how they're doing later. South on Dale University. We'll run downtown for a little bit. Dale Street's still under construction. Sorry, there's not much going on. We might have to just try to do these on weekends. But again, you never know what's going to happen in these tours.
Clear to traffic will be on Lawson and Cypress with the camper.
It's gonna be 3 hours of total boredom, and then 3 minutes of complete chaos.
2205.
2205. You hear that from that's again the time for those of you that weren't listening the other day, that the dispatcher will always end their communication with a notation of the time. Military time.
Obviously, 2205.
2205, and they'll say it very fast. Usually when the squad clears their call, they'll report some type of disposition in terms of how they cleared the call.
382 arriving.
Copy, 326.
If it stays this slow, we may have to stop, do some traffic stops. Like I mentioned yesterday, I try to avoid them unless they're careless. There's so much other stuff going on that needs attention. But relatively quiet. I'm just
386.
making sure we got all the channels.
Specialist at 15 St. Margaret Street. Comp could hear her home security system sounding while she's downstairs in the kitchen. Unsure why, didn't see anybody, but no, her and the children are all locked upstairs in the upstairs bedroom.
Copy.
Her suspicious person over at 1500 block of Margaret. We will swing through downtown and then head over to the east side.
Squad 634 in channel 3.
378 advised, all 386.
I'm with Alpha Kilo Sierra 670. Switch code.
Anyone 73, where's that for?
Yeah, code for Ramsey Beach.
That was the White Bear car up on Ramsey Beach up there in White Bear.
One 63 arriving.
Copy.
Coming south on Robert Street. Keys on the left there. Actually, the police station used to be down here on 10th Street between Minnesota and actually I'm on Jackson, aren't I? Well, I'm on Robert. Between Minnesota and Cedar Hill.
Swimming roughly.
Beautiful night out, just absolutely gorgeous.
367, can you go again?
No humidity.
Be clear advised. Show me a rough.
Everybody's happy. There is less crime when it's cooler.
Right. 361, checking your status.
12-4.
12-4, 2211.
Somebody did ask to drive by the parking lot by TPT. So I'm by there. Actually, my father worked for the Corps of Engineers for 30 plus years, and their office used to be in the old post office. And down here, that big building there, next to the welfare building, used to bring me down when I was little, show me how they were designing dams. Dams on the Mississippi, the Red River. Used to go up and sandbag with him during the floods. I'll turn around here and come back. Obviously the TPT building's right there. Come back around a different angle. Now it's the Custom House building. My dad's office was up there on the 13th floor. Quite an amazing remodel if you haven't been down to the Union Depot.
162.
To see how beautiful it is. Just a gorgeous structure inside. Great historical thing to save.
1473 Thomas shouting, screaming.
A couple St. Paul cars down here. How's it going? Good. Transit cops there too. Here's the back side of the TPT building. Almanac is filmed in there, I think, still. Been in there a couple times.
Now to jail.
How's it going tonight? How's it going, partner? That's the back side of the federal building there. Slide up to Mears Park here. It will get busier now. Yeah, this is quite the transportation hub, from the Amtrak to the buses that come from other cities. But the beauty of the Union Depot, the old marble that was saved. There's people getting off the train here. Swing up by the farmers market, CHS Field, Lowertown. Sad that the farmers market hasn't really been as active this past years. CHS Field, great facility.
Hey, yeah, call the cop back and have them step down to the front door.
Copy. Take contact. 2016.
Kind of show you turn around here a little bit. When the light rail ends its tour, they pull into these doors here at the end, down here on Broadway, the 4th, and that's where they service the trains, clean them up, service them at the end of their shift. And I think there's something similar on the other end. We got dog patrol tonight or what? Yeah, that's good. You guys just getting out walking or what?
Oh yeah, this is where we live.
No, it is. It's beautiful.
I know. This is Charlie and Chance.
Charlie and Chance? And are those pit bulls or what?
Gotta get them out of the city though, man. We need a fenced yard soon.
Yeah.
Soon. That's about 4 walks a day in the dog park.
You thinking of moving or what?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a dog, Rocco. He's a combination poodle and Burmese mountain dog.
So you have a little bit of a...
It was supposed. My wife told me that he was only going to be when we got him. He was only going to be a small version, you know. Like
how much do you weigh?
He's 70 now. It was only supposed to be 25 to 30.
You got a fenced yard, so you can run him around.
I don't have a fenced yard.
You don't? Where do you live?
Well, but in the northern suburbs. But the point is, my wife is really good at taking him for walks.
2165, copy with 96 and
That's it. Hey, you guys have a good night. Thanks for visiting. Yeah, we got a great dog. If actually you can see the dog on my profile picture with our son. Both the dog and our son are a year older than that picture. But Rocco is a beautiful dog. Thankfully, he's also calm. And loves attention. Take a look at him if you get a chance on our page. But my wife is the most awesome dog lover that there is. And my son and I take good care of him too, but he's totally partial to her. Follows her around like, I don't know how to describe it. Whenever she goes to the car, he's bolting to the car before she gets there. Well, I'm disappointed that I haven't.
Avenue for an assault. Please get information. Somebody's assaulting the requesting medic.
951 Prosperity and assault.
Is there a car that can start for 951 Prosperity?
Got a couple. We're going to head over there to the east side on that assault call. But I got a question here about Shot Spotter. We do not have Shot Spotter. It'd be a huge help. I mentioned this the other night when you were with me and you heard those shots outside the window.
315.
Shot Spotter would be able to identify the caliber, the direction, if it was moving away or not. And it can eliminate fireworks. Shot Spotter knows the sound profile of every round and every firework, so it can eliminate what it is not as well. Be a great tool. The other thing, we spend way too much time trying to figure out where the shots are actually coming from. Slows us down. I mean, we had a murder last year that, you know, actually this victim was laying in the street for a long period of time because cops didn't know where the shooting actually took place. And it was found by someone else walking in the street. So yeah, Shot Spotter be a great tool, but we don't have it. You know, they're asking me. Someone's asking me about funny stories from dispatchers. You know, things have changed over the years. It used to be a little funnier because
Motor Building Domestic that East is responding to at Larpenteur in Edgemont. The female stated that she was assaulted by male, and he threw her phone out the vehicle. Was asking for help. Black male was driving and set off. With the white female in the passenger seat, it was a black Chevy sedan, Minnesota plate 903 Tango Papa Kilo, eastbound Larpenteur, time delay of about 6 minutes. Information in 2221.
All right, there you have it up there on Larpenteur, rolling domestic, looking for the car. But dispatching, I'll tell you a funny story. I did have to dispatch for 6 months once. Back in the early 80s, there was a budget crisis, and Chief McCutcheon decided that he had to cut money similar to what Mayor Carter is proposing with the police department. But back then, the dispatchers worked for the police department.
Can you clear me from 7-1 call?
And so,
Start me a second call, same thing.
So Chief McCutcheon, God bless his soul, he just passed away about 2 months ago. He fired all the dispatchers and forced the sergeants, that was us, to go do the dispatching. Now, back in 81, it wasn't quite as complicated as it is today. And let me just say, those dispatchers that we have today, they do an awesome job. We're so dependent on them. We're very, very thankful for them keeping us safe, getting us the right information. They have to be able to type fast. They have to be able to think fast. And we're just very, very thankful for how professional that field has become. But back in the 80s, it wasn't like that. This is a true story. I'm actually driving by the old police department right now on 10th and Robert here. And back in the 80s, we had 2 dispatchers with lollipop microphones and 6 people with those old rotary phones, black phones, taking the calls. And so they would take the calls and they would fill out a little card, and the card would go on a little a little belt that would move, sort of like an escalator belt, but it would take the belt and it would move the card up to the dispatcher. And so they would fill it out with the call, the address, and then when it got to us, us being the sergeants that were dispatching, then we would read it and dispatch it to
31073 West, Sherburne Forbes Housing to recover a unoccupied stolen that was attempted to be recovered.
So the call would get to us, and this is back in the days where they allowed people to smoke. So half these injured cops that were working as telecommunicators would be smoking in the comm center, and we had to breathe their smoke, of course. But once in a while, they would, just for fun, they would light one of the cards on fire, and they'd put it on the little belt, and it would come up to us on fire. And they would yell just before it got to us. They'd say, "Got a hot call! Got a hot call!" And that was a little bit of their humor. But I got to tell you, I've been in this for 43 years. That was the toughest job I had, dispatching. And I'm just thankful I didn't have to do it. Eventually, McCutcheon resolved his budget issues, and we were able to go back to the street. But that was the toughest job I ever had. But truth be known, once in a while people would put their feet up when late at night when it was slow, and their foot might get in way of the belt, and that would slow the cards. The cards would back up till somebody said, "Hey, get your foot off there. The calls are stacking up." And hard to believe, but times have changed. Now we have the most professional comm center, the highest equipment in the whole country. Right here, we merged all of Ramsey County together. Ramsey County used to have St. Paul, the sheriff's office. White Bear had its own dispatch center. Everybody had their own. So now we're coordinated.
Parties for things and making inappropriate comments.
All right, we're back up on Maryland. 35 in Maryland.
2226.
My apologies for how quiet it is.
Bravo 264 EOT.
Have a good night, 2226.
Twenty-one 6-4, you can clear this out GOA.
2227.
Even though it seems quiet to us in terms of, you know, what the kind of calls that you would like to go to, I mean, there's still almost all the cars are out on calls, just a wide variety of things. Some of them are on proactive police visit. It's called the PPV. They'll check out in an apartment complex. So we do have a number of calls stacked up. The domestic over on Rose.
1096 Rose Avenue East on a domestic homicide. Charlton had assaulted her earlier, has a history of fleeing. He's currently sitting out back on the lawnmower.
Alright, so that's the domestic I was just referring to that's been sitting for a while.
Alola Transit, traffic southbound 61 in Roselawn.
Copy, 61 in Roselawn with transit, 2228.
Hopefully I got the phone plugged in so the battery doesn't die tonight. Like the arcade. Looking over to the west side, I don't think we've been over there. I do get questions regularly about the difference in the police and the sheriff's office. I think we kind of went over that last night. It's on one of the earlier videos, but we have about 250 sworn deputies on the sheriff's office and another, 150 correctional officers, and then maybe 100 civilians. We have, a mixture, about 500 employees total.
Edmund, 30-year-old male in the backyard, extremely DK, comments of suicidal ideation. There's a shotgun in the house. 323 pulling up.
Yeah, B230.
I was saying again how many suicidal parties we've had. I don't really note them to you, but that was another one on a person in crisis over on Edmond, and just a lot of suicidal parties. Partly because of the economy, partly because of the COVID. Just been really tough. I'm gonna run by Sam's Market here to see who's hanging out there tonight. Eastbound on Maryland at Johnson Parkway.
323 code 4 for medics. Got to do one male conscious breathing. Got a head injury, playing a dizziness.
Yeah, be clear, medics 2231.
It's the BCA building right here on our right. Really a state-of-the-art facility, crime lab there at Maryland and Prosperity. All the credit there goes to Senator Randy Kelly when he was in the legislature for getting that building built there. It's quite an addition to the east side. He worked a lot of hours. So Santa's Market looks like it's closed. It was about 10.
33.
Some people still in
Second or set
there.
of Larpenter and Edgemont for a rolling domestic 903 Tango Papa Kilo with a black Chevy Silverado pickup truck. Male had assaulted a female and she was saying that she was also sexually assaulted. They're last headed eastbound.
So you see that because the east cards were tied up, that call about
33 copies. I'm riding 1099 for the rest of the night.
the rolling
FYI.
domestic on Larpenter.
15 minutes time delay on an area check. I can start you a second.
He's just getting the call on the east side.
route.
The central cars had gotten the call earlier,
933.
but east has been tied up, so they just got the call now.
4433 traffic. 4433. Lower Hampton, west of McKnight. Edward Tom Adams, 620. Lower Hampton, west McKnight, 2233.
So, fire department, I assume, is going to the Prosperity accident, but maybe not. No, maybe not. I don't know where they're headed, to be honest with you. Like I mentioned, we don't get, in the city, we don't get noticed on all the medical runs.
383.
In the suburbs, the deputies are trained as first responders and get
Not
to,
sure if it's related, but it's appended to your call. And a 911 open line from a different phone number than 6 meters. Edgerton Park Rate from Larpenter. You know, it's heard yell in the background about a bottle being thrown at her.
all right, we're going to go down to
33
Edgerton.
copies, thank you.
Edgerton and Arkwright, that's probably where the victim of that rolling domestic is, because they got another call there. But the deputies actually have a higher level of first aid training because they don't have a full-time fire department out in the suburbs like St. Paul does. As I mentioned, St. Paul's got a top class A fire department that responds to all medicals. But in the suburbs, they don't have full-time firefighters. Well, they have a few of them, but not 450. And so the deputies have oxygen and are trained in some first response, assuming they're going to get there first to medicals. And at the sheriff's office, we handle a lot of medical runs, as well as the regular calls. So, but sometimes in the cities, if there's a medical run and it's handled by the medics, they might, you might not know. All right, so we're going west on Maryland. Just a reminder, this is a test for you. The 60 numbers between each major block. That'll help you navigate. So Duluth we just passed Duluth, 1180. So another big street, minus 60. Here, this will be Frank. This will be 1120. Get to Earl. This will be 1060. Whoa.
That's why that could start for
Some bright
call
lights.
90 Sugar, not a duress
Some
alarm.
bright lights. Pull over here. I'm assuming this is a fire chief going to their run. Yeah, that's a fire chief following his rig
21.
east on Maryland.
6 4.
I have a medical at 1623 Carl Street, Unit 3B, 23 of Mel Justin.
So that was a medical being dispatched, and our deputies responding to it.
Not finding yet. We're headed.
That's one thing you'll hear on the suburban channels on a regular basis. This
Area of Lurker and Edgemont Street.
From team.
Thank you. 2237.
everybody's trying to find the victim on
179, copy.
There's Walsh, Johnson Ice Arena, 3 blocks north here. Spent a lot of hours in there. One more shout out to Moose Younghans, who's built a great program, but if you were to watch those kids that he gets under his wing develop into great young adults, it's amazing.
4433, checking your stop.
Amazing what a good role model can do.
383.
383.
For the second phone number that called us, he's able to use rapid light and shows up in the area of 571 Wheelock, slowly moving westbound.
571 Wheelock, slowly moving westbound. Well,
383, copies.
361.
361.
361.
should have turned at Edgerton there, but we'll go down here to Arkwright.
Put us on PTV at Mount Sports Park, please.
What was the location for PPV?
Mount Park, Sports Park.
Alright, we're going north on Arkwright from Maryland. See if we can find this poor woman that was kicked out of her car, but originally the call came out saying that she had at her phone. Now, there's apartment buildings right here. We've had a few calls. A couple months ago, I had a domestic call here, and the guy was leaving, and I pulled behind him, and he took off. We had a short chase, but unfortunately for him, he hit a dead end. Bailed out.
4421, Channel 3rd squad to the Stillwater call.
Got it out of 3rd Maplewood squad to 2633 Stillwater for the domestic.
4041 from the PD.
Copy at 2240.
So we're at 400 Nevada. I'm going to try to weave my way up to Wheelock Parkway. Supposedly she's at 590 Wheelock Parkway headed west. I'm imagining she's walking, but don't know for sure. Nevada and DeSoto.
In 213, I copy en route to 786 Smith on an animal complaint. 2241.
So here we are at Wheelock and DeSoto. I think we're looking for a female victim here, walking, probably with her phone. Let's see. Sometimes the male parties come back and try to convince them to get in the car, and then they call us and we hear the screaming. We're at 500 right now, so keep your eyes out. See if you see anybody walking. this is Edgerton here. There's a squad looking for her. She wasn't on my side. Dang it. So, guess we'll have to wait for another call, but here's the thing, that this was based upon the GPS from the phone, and those phone GPSs are not 100% reliable. And so, like most things, the original call came from up on Larpenter. So we'll run up there and just see
4433 clear. We'll
see
go
if
to
she's
Stillwater.
wandering around up on Larpenter.
Copy 2243.
West 35W, westbound Highway 10.
Well, you'll have to let me know if you still want me to broadcast on slow nights like this, because obviously that last weekend,
Fletcher 17.
Friday, it was busier. Or I can just wait to start until a little bit later. All right, so Larpenter is the border, of course, with northern border of St. Paul. For technical purposes, you could call it County Road A, because between
69, 10 is clear.
Larpenter and County Road B, there's 1 mile. So remember, 1 mile is 480 numbers. So keep an eye out for this woman. We're going to go to this Edgemont address where she allegedly either jumped out or got pushed out of the car. Let me just see if I can find it here. But remember, we talked about the numbers 480 to a mile, 240 to a half mile. So Maryland was 1,200. If you go a mile north from Maryland, you're hitting Larpenter. And Larpenter is 1,680. So add 480 to the 1,200. This is Edgemont here on the border of Maplewood and St. Paul, where allegedly the first call came.
633, okay.
She was
Have a
walking.
good night, 2245.
Most people would probably go to the gas station up here, but a few more cars coming up now. A couple guys at the bus station. Anyhow, so Larpenter really is essentially County Road A, although it's not called County Road A, but it's the border for the rest of the county. And then County Road B, C, D, E, County Road F, and then technically Highway 96 is County Road G, although it's called Highway 96. But if you work south from Larpenter, remember
4334.
University was 480, and case in front are 960. They add 240 to that, it's 1,200. And if you go 1 mile south of University Avenue, the 0 is Summit. Summit Avenue is 0, and everything south of Summit is the south address, and everything north of Summit is the north address. That's how the city's divided. When they built the city, they made Summit 0. And Sylvan essentially is 0 for east and west. And the numbers go east and west from there. Obviously, when you get to the west side or little niches, things are different. but that's how you can find your way around town, and it's still 480 to a mile, 240 to a half mile in the suburbs as well.
Civil complaint. Wife has returned and still not given keys back to the rental.
We're going to run down Larpenteur now and see if there are any calls in Maplewood or Roseville. The State Patrol will handle anything on the freeway below us. We're at 35E here, but they do run up and assist on a regular basis. Up here at when we get up to Rice and Larpenteur, you have a uniqueness of Maplewood has the northeast corner, Roseville has the northwest corner, and then St. Paul has everything south of Larpenteur. And unfortunately, it's not unusual for Maplewood, the county, and St. Paul to be on different frequencies at the same time. So the officers have to multitask and listen to what's happening on the other frequencies. Otherwise, something could be happening right across the street. The dispatchers do a great job of notifying them, but they're so busy up there.
4483.
Sometimes it's hard for them to. It's hard for them to be advising everybody on other channels as well. So we're coming up Rice and Larpenteur. Of course, at the Lamplighter, there was a woman shot and killed here a couple months ago.
Number 14.
A couple months ago.
Hi, copy. Thank you.
2014.
Actually, the car left here and went north, and our deputies actually spotted the car leaving. So we got a domestic going on at Connie's Creamy Cone. Maybe head down there, but
162.
that typifies our night.
162.
Transferring adult male detox.
$22.49.
So west on Larpenteur from Rice Street.
2164 arriving.
2250.
Obviously things have changed. The old Linders, we bought a lot of stuff from Linders, and now there's a huge school there now.
Heavy 2250.
$21.64. You can put me out with 861 Echo Charlie.
I copy 2250.
So coming up on Dale Street. We'll zoom down to the county, see if the ice cream's still available.
223 GOA 228. You can send me home down.
638 Oakdale for a loud party. Lots of yelling. Is there squads back?
That's on the west side, 638 Oakdale. We will get over there. That's when I got promoted to sergeant.
2251.
That was my first assignment over there on the west side. Just for those of you that might be new joining us, you know, please feel free to send me a text, 651-448-3810, 448-3810.
Myself and 314 will be MVHQ at property.
You know, some of you asked about how many deputies we have. And I mentioned the other night that one of my goals is to expand the pool of deputies that we can hire. Not the number, but the type of people that we can hire, people with broader backgrounds, people that have some mental health history, and people that have just the type of kindness in their heart to start out as police officers. We can train them how to be police officers, but we can't change a person at their core. And so next legislative session, I'm hoping to work with John Thompson, if he gets elected, and on helping us expand the pool of people that we can hire, so you don't have to have that 2-year degree. It'd be great to hire people that had different degrees, a wider variety, or maybe no degree. It shouldn't be an obstacle, because as I mentioned when I came on, you weren't required to have a specific degree, and we got a broader pool from the community, more diversity, and we really need to make some steps in that area for improvement. So let's see if the domestic is still going on here. What the heck? Somebody's yelling over there across the street. He doesn't look happy. Let me just check to see if there's a victim here first. They found the victim yet, or what? I think I better at least go check on that truck, the guy that was yelling at us. Just see if everything's all right.
4482, checking status.
Seems like he's in a little bit of a hurry.
33, we're still checking.
Got it.
He wasn't totally happy, so I'm just gonna try to not scare him here into doing something stupid. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I saw you stopped over there. What was going on?
My girlfriend's good down there. She's good. Cause she got jump, something jump down there, whatever, trying to break the strip, whatever. By the time she don't jump because she's mad, I didn't help her out or whatever.
She was down there getting jumped. Step back just a little bit because of the cold.
She didn't get jumped down there, happened, whatever. But she's upset. I don't know about her.
Where is she?
She's still down there. She's still down there, girl. Damn her, she get home second.
Does she work there?
No, she's upset with no. She's very upset.
She's not at the ice cream place?
No.
You're good though.
Yep, I'm great.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Right.
See you later.
Hey, get you for me. Hello.
So there you have it. He has some type of argument. His girlfriend was having some trouble. It's probably
129, copy the update. The Alta Code
129 is just
traffic.
getting there to the county cone. I got a
Echo Sierra Juliet 623 at 304 Wheelock.
04 Wheelock,
930, 3920.
well, there's supposed to be a female somewhere on that corner
Copy, I'm agent
that says she's been attacked by her boyfriend.
Diagonal, ineffective breathing. He passed out.
So we'll go back there. Maybe it was this guy that attacked her.
3930, it sounds like medic dispatchers are providing CPR and
We just don't know.
Copy.
2256.
Well, now he's leaving. So I better just follow him to see if we can get his plate.
589 Dale, yeah, there you go. RT5 fighting, background, presence, with James. Like female tie-dye shirt. Copy. 2256.
129, not finding the party. I'm going to call the second com back here.
903 Tango Papa Kilo. Hey, did you call the police?
Huh?
Did you call the police?
Yes, I thought, but she's okay earlier. I was but she's okay.
Where is she?
Huh?
Where is she?
She was dying, but I asked me to stop dying.
Where is she now?
They said, where are you now? They said,
361.
Playing with alarm at crossing.
But there's 2 police cars looking for her. Did she get punched or what?
Man, it's on live.
Huh?
It's on live.
It was another girl?
It's on live.
All right, carry on. What's your name? All right, later.
There's some McCarran's at 22.
Copy that coming out from our side.
$2,400. Can you add this to that Dale call? 903 Tango Papa Kilo. I think that's the boyfriend of the girl. He just said that she's all right and doesn't need any help, but he was over off of McCubbin. For the Connie's Creamy Cold.
Where's 2400 at?
Yeah, I stopped him over by Loeb Lake. He had been over here by the Connie's Creamy Cold. He never found her, but he had her on the phone and said she left and she's okay. A female had assaulted her, but didn't want the police at the current time. If you can't find the victim, I just clear it. Assisted.
Thank you, sir.
So, you know, it would be really great if I could hear you guys. I think I'm going to have a situation where you can call in and we can talk, because I can get lonely in this car after a while. Especially when I'm talking to myself.
That's where you'll be tonight.
2300.
Yes, someone asked a question about COVID. COVID is a problem for us, I have to tell you, because you can't really protect yourself as well as you'd like to in this job. I mean, whether you're arresting someone or people running up on you, and it's just...
K26, fair false alarm, 273.
It's just... It's a problem with COVID, and
22.
there are a lot of police officers that have had it. Fortunately, most of them are young enough, you know, young enough that they recover fast. I'm not quite as young as most of them, but the jail is a problem. You know, COVID is spreading in prisons and jails. Our jail, remarkably, has only had one or two cases. We've really gone to great lengths to isolate people,
161 well.
use masks, etc. So, but with the new surge coming, obviously we're worried. You know, when you only had 3 or 4% of the public that was infected
116
around the country, you know, Florida, Arizona, California, their numbers are up 15, 20% positive rates. And when that happens, it's just, you know, more and more difficult. Just like that guy he ran up to my window. I mean, he's talking fast, he's uttering, you know, there's a lot of contagion if he would have it coming in the car. It's tough to stop that. And then, of course, when you're arresting people and going hands-on, it's impossible. Officers are wearing masks now when they're out of the car, but masks are only so protective when you're in that close proximity trying to arrest people. So we're on Arlington, eastbound toward Rice Street. Going to the Central District, and then we'll go over to West Side. You know, feel free to share this video if you think your friends would enjoy it. Just share it so they know. I mean, it's hard to do many notifications. There used to be a police station right here on Arlington on my left there, Arlington and Rice Street. Was the old Central Station. To be honest with you, they need one up here. We have a small substation, you know, but that doesn't really count. There really needs to be a big substation up here on Rice Street to keep the crime suppressed. And the Central Station is down at headquarters. How's it going? You all good? You need any help? You got it? All right. Very good. It's a handicapped person in a wheelchair out walking his dog. It's a golden doodle, I think, Chris. My wife's listing, just like ours. So anyhow, the substation up there was when every time there's a budget cut, people are looking for ways. So the Central Station now is downtown. I know Chief Axtell would love to have a station up here if he could, but money-wise, just not possible to afford it. We're gonna drive through Tin Cup lot here. What is it? 11:05 on a Monday. What's going on? Everything good? You still?
So far, so good.
How's Bo doing in there? Is he taking care of you?
That's really good. I'm here keeping everything good.
Good to see you. Don't get too close just because of COVID, you know? Yeah. Everything good? How are you?
I'm doing good.
I haven't seen you for ages.
It's been a while since we stood out here protecting the place.
Yeah.
The mask, the mandatory mask thing that the governor has ordered.
Yep.
How does that affect?
If you're inside, you're supposed to have one on.
No, but what if you're licensed to carry? Because the license on the law says
you can't
wear a mask other than on holiday.
Yeah, you can wear a mask now with your gun as long as you're under the governor's order.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm at work and my boss is asking.
Don't come any closer though. You're good.
My boss is asking for a doctor. I have health conditions to wear that mask.
Yep.
And he sees it cause me really problems. But does he need an actual doctor?
For you to wear it at work?
Yeah.
No.
No, I did tell him that I have medical conditions and that's clear.
That's yes, and you tell him to call me if he has a problem with it.
Okay. I work at Arco gas station.
All right. Which one?
35 Marburner.
Oh yeah.
You know that one.
Yeah.
They're very nice to you guys. They give you guys a discount. I
never take a discount, but they probably are nice. Yeah.
They do give you guys a discount.
Well,
You guys get a discount.
I don't need a discount. I got a job. It's those poor,
I just wanted to.
it's those poor people that aren't working that need the discount.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify with him because I will get the doctor's note.
Yeah.
But he's just worried about that fine.
So are we all supposed to wear them inside there then?
Technically, you're supposed to wear them when you're in a public place like that.
Yes. I cook in the kitchen.
Huh?
You know what I mean? I cook in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Making whatnot.
I might have a couple. Here, I got a couple extra masks for you. Here.
I got them.
You got them?
Yeah.
There you go. Take that one.
I got a couple of nice ones and whatnot. I just didn't know, like, it's tough when you're in the kitchen. It's hot, you know.
Well, if you're in your own workspace,
Yeah.
you might be covered. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But because you're working with food, I would
Alright.
definitely recommend you wear one.
I'll keep one on my ear.
Nah, you should put it.
Keep it on?
Keep it on. Just find a lightweight one. Like these are lightweight. You know what I'm saying? Don't get those heavy ones.
Yeah, I got you.
Find a lightweight one when you're cooking.
So my girlfriend works for the VA, so she brings them home all the time.
Yeah. That's what you need. You just need lightweight one.
All right, then.
All right, see you later. Good to talk to you.
have a good night, man.
You
Be
too.
safe.
Thank you. See you later, you guys. So everything's good at Tin Cups. I think we do want the cook to wear a mask though, right? I think that's kind of important.
We copy.
I'll talk to Gidget tomorrow, make sure he does wear one. Well,
Thank you for taking channel 2. Could you please go to 3? RC copies. I just sent a message to her.
all right. A minute. I'm gonna make a call here.
Hello.
Hey, this is the police department. We're just checking on you to make sure you're okay.
I'm fine. The police are right here. I'm fine.
Are the police there with you now?
Yes.
Oh, they found you. Good. Where are you at?
I'm Adele. I'm fine.
Okay. We just wanted to make sure nothing happened to you, because that guy driving the truck, who assaulted you, the girl or the guy?
Both.
Okay. So that guy assaulted you too?
Yeah, but he's fine. I don't want to press charges, none of that, because the police don't do nothing. I'm just going to go home and go sleep. It's cool.
All right. You're with the officers though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just tell them that Bob Fletcher was calling to check on you. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bob Fletcher was up.
All right, there you go. We called her and checked on her. She didn't want to press charges. She is with the police officers right now. And she said the guy in the truck was both part of the problem too, but she didn't want to press charges on him. So they did find her. So that's good. And we got the license plate on the guy's truck if we need it. I'm sure she knows his name. But sounds like she doesn't want to report it. So I gotta South Undale. We did have a shooting on in front of Bourne's last night or the night before. Hang on 1 second. Gotta read some things here on my phone. going down Rice Street. Relatively quiet. Even the radio's quiet, all 3 channels.
Number yet?
All over here.
Apartment 344.
Copy, I'll take another.
Let me get another squad to 2178 London Lane, apartment 344. Sydney squad able to break and head to 2178 London Lane. Squad 513, are you able to assist 312?
Well, there's
513 around.
Copy and thank you. 2314?
there's a couple squads at a call on 687 Charles on a shots fired. I don't think they've found anything yet, but that's half a block from where the grieving parties were gathered. I think if it had anything to do with them, we probably would had several other calls. But I will tell you, there's 687 Charles has been a problem property. Well, I won't go that far. We've had calls at 687 Charles in the past. So we're gonna run over there, see what's going on in that area. I've kind of made a habit of reading plates when they go the other way. Like that last one was 139 Tango Echo Tango. If you really focus in on that front plate, so many states don't have front plates, and it's such a valuable tool. Such a very valuable tool to be able to see cars' plates, like this car coming right at us here. CHZ 437, Charlie Hotel Zebra 437. And most cops are able to do that, pick those plates out when they're coming at you. Well, we gotta go to the Holiday here, 11:15, at least make a drive-through. This is the center of the universe here. Hopefully we won't hear shots fired again tonight like the other night. See the guy sitting on top of his car up there by the front? All roads lead to the Holiday. I'm gonna sit here a couple minutes. Lots of activity here. For a while, this was the busiest holiday in the country when they were open 24 hours. But like I said, now they don't stay open all night, I don't think, any longer. Bad part is when some rival gang members show up to get gas at the same time.
301.
And speaking of
301.
gangs,
I'll be clear. You can cancel 513.
513, thanks you for the assistance. You can be cleared.
there
3 copy.
are a number of good initiatives out there to really focus on
224, I copy your mount to 515.
50
Over
SR.
here. Check the area for a male and female outside yelling. Female was hanging out of the side of a vehicle. White female and a black male. Information at 2318.
I'm sorry I stopped talking, but I can see some tension growing out here. Busy, busy, busy. Well, I'm gonna take a quick drive through the lot, give you a little closer look at the activity. And we're gonna roam over into the Western District.
560.
260.
195 admin. Assisting other agencies to check over a vehicle.
No, I got a customer now.
Receive.
She's gonna ask me for money and I don't give any. Hey ma'am, could you please stay just a little further away? I'm the police department. How are you? All right. Good to see you tonight. Thank you. Yeah, she regularly comes and asks if she can borrow some money. But mostly I just don't want to get too close to too many strangers.
273.
Cancel 260. Go ahead, I'm clear.
260, you are clear.
260 copy. Thanks, Hillary.
2320.
All right, let's take a drive through. We'll come back before midnight when it closes. How's it going? Good, no complaints. It's all good. Help her out with a cigarette. See you later. How's it going? Oh, yes, it's not glass though, Pato. Should I go left or right? I think I'll back up. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, thank you for your help. How's it going? Gotta check out our friends down at 154 Charles tonight. They had a big fight down there at 170. How's it going? I love those pants.
Thank you.
Very nice. How's it going, gents? How are you? Good, good. How's it going? All right. How's it going?
Sir,
Good. How's it going?
like God.
It's a beautiful night, huh? How are you? All right. Well, we'll take a little trip over to the West District. This is right where we heard those shots. Basically, we got to go by Charles first, see what's happening. Pretty quiet on the radio, huh? Whew.
.2363 copy. 2324.
All quiet over here on Charles.
534. 535.
435 Dorothy Gate, please. Caller is waiting for you in the front. Says that he feels threatened by 10 males on scene and there's no security. He'll be waiting in a black tank top and blue jeans in the lobby.
534, copy. 535, copy.
2325.
Well, I promised some of you we'd get over to the west side. And just for the record, for those of you that don't know the west side is actually not west of St. Paul. The west side is south of St. Paul. But because it's on the west side of the Mississippi River, it's always been called the west side, as opposed to the west end, which is West 7th Street, or the West Bank, which is the Minneapolis side of the river.
531, cancel 534.
534, you are clear?
But the west side has been relatively busy
Hey, thanks, sir.
2626.
last, few weeks. And I have to say, I'm not really that. I started my career there, but as a sergeant. No, I started my career here as an officer. I started my career there as a sergeant, but it's just not the kind of place that you get to that often. There's only so many bridges that you can get over there. Once you're over there, you feel like you can't get back to some of the other activity. So, White Castle reminds me of Chief Bill Finney. Chief Bill Finney, I worked for him.
124, can you
Worked with him, worked for him, and now I
918.
hired him to be an undersheriff. There comes the fire rig. Hired him to be an undersheriff, but he regularly meets friends at White Castle in the morning. I don't know if that's open anymore with COVID, but just a great community leader, community servant. very lucky to have him be a part of the sheriff's office. He does a lot of our community outreach now.
534, you want me to go to 4th and Sibley?
Affirmative. 4th and Sibley male says he was punched by a male in the throat and is requesting medics. And suspect, a black male with a purple shirt, purple sunrise on it.
Those medics you saw going by, those are going down to 4th and Sibley, I'm sure.
538, are you able to back?
We'll run down there as well.
2327.
Probably 3.
533.
You can send me on that. You cancel 534. I'll ask you 30 minutes.
Mailboxes, mail from a mailbox.
You're clear.
10-8, thanks, Prince.
We'll check on 4th and Sibley. We'll check on the Dorothy Day call.
You can cancel the other squad. You send me out with 533.
The Catholic Charities is an amazing institution. They do an unbelievable job.
That vehicle comes back to us, silver.
There's so much.
Just be advised, the caller is now saying this happened last night, but he is still having medical issues in relation to the assault.
Okay, so now the assault happened the night before. Well, we're going to have to stop that car. Did you notice he ran that red light?
Will do.
That's probably...
I was just asking.
Really don't want to stop him till he's down in a safer spot.
I will double check, but I believe 5th and Sibley.
Okay.
Two seven three.
Unable to look at the vehicle.
Looks like he's got a yellow tag there.
Copy. And just be advised that the caller will be at 5th and Sibley wearing navy blue top and black cap.
Copy together.
2329.
2400 traffic, St. Peter and 11th. No plate.
St. Peter and 11th. The vehicle with no plates at 2330.
Morning, Rachel.
Being around to Washington County Jail.
Have you at 2330?
23, I'm out with cop.
2330.
I treated, I'm out with him too.
2330.
Squad 280 took a disturbance on Virginia.
Copy. Missouri squad that conduct 280 at 611 Virginia for 3 vehicles parked in the street playing loud music.
Squad 280.
Copy. GOA 2331.
Well, that was almost like Charles. They're out of gas almost. They didn't want to stop. And in a hurry to get to the gas station. But guy and his girlfriend, he didn't have a license. She does. So we just let her drive the car to the gas station. The reality out here is that a huge percentage of people don't have driver's license anymore, and It's usually because they didn't pay their fines. It's not necessarily because they're bad drivers.
And information to squad 72 hour pickup and hold for felony threats of violence and terroristic threats. Suspect is Capri Angela Renee Mims. She's a black female.
We just, with the COVID, there's just no sense in trying to arrest people for not having a driver's license.
And herself.
Taking them to jail or just, it's a different time right now. So I do, if I can make sure that there's a qualified driver driving the car, I give a lot of breaks. A lot of breaks. Some people probably aren't happy that I give that many breaks, but when COVID is over, then we'll go back to some other form of law enforcement. So
You can show me 10-8 and I'll be en route to Castile Park for a PPV.
get a lot of requests for ride-alongs, just looking, but obviously until COVID is over, can't really do many ride-alongs. We'll just have to wait until the vaccine is available. All right, let's go over to the west side here in a little bit. See, familiarize you. If anybody's familiar with the west side, get a little familiar with it. Gotta clear my traffic. 2400 on clear traffic. For those of you that just joined us, we're on patrol here in Ramsey County. Thanks for joining us. Been on patrol since about 9:15. We'll probably go till about 1. Hopefully we get a little more activity. It's been relatively slow. But,
Can you have 283 go forward, please?
feel free to text us with any questions. I'm not going to answer all of them just because it's hard to do that at the same time, and some of them are semi-political in nature, and really trying not to turn this
Squad
into
283. Can you go to 4, please?
too much of a political discussion. Just the nuts and bolts of what we do and what affects us. But the text number is 651-448-3810. 448-3810.
And 225, I copy your note to 23 Rose Avenue, and it's suspicious to check a suspicious vehicle that's in front of Collar's house. It's a blue 4-door sedan, unknown plate, occupied by one time. Collar is concerned it might be Amanda Lynn Lowe, who was just released from prison for assaulting Collar's roommate. 228, are you able to back? Affirmative. 228, you can disregard. We got plenty of help. Security cover. 2330.
I'm going to maybe do sometime this week or next week, besides doing nights, go on a ride along during the day. I want to show you some of the things that our intervention team, we have a couple former gang members that are out on the street trying to get kids to put their guns down, meeting with them, during the day, and they do some great work. A lot of times they're downtown here, either at the transit station or over at Kellogg Park, talking to some of these kids. might be interesting for you to hear them talk about what they're hearing. I mean, the problem is people are carrying guns because they're worried about getting shot at, so they're telling us that they have to carry a gun, they have to be ready to shoot first. And that is a terrible set of circumstances. But back to this gang violence intervention, there's been a lot of discussion in the media over the last year. John Choi, County Attorney John Choi, has proposed a gang violence intervention program targeting, the 75 gang members. And the concept is to have law enforcement work in partnership with the community, usually the religious community, to tell kids, hey, if you stay on this course, we're going to put you in jail for a long time, but here's a window out. And then use the religious community as sort of the moral compass. So we do have a smaller grant that Erica McDonald, the U.S. Attorney, has given to St. Paul, and we're going to start working on that with the African American Leadership Council. But really, if we can target resources, you saw the other day that the Ramsey County Probation Office got rid of their gang unit. They only had about 40 kids that they were working on within their probation environment. And that'll be a loss for us, because this program would be similar to that. Get the kids that are on probation and really have an intensive program to convince them to change. I don't know, I heard a quote on the news the other day, which is really true, that nothing stops a bullet faster than a job. So we really do need to focus on getting those 75 young adults off their path, and frankly their younger brothers as well. So we're going to run over to the west side. The Robert Street Bridge is obviously closed. We're going to go over the Wabasha Street Bridge. I gotta make a one-touch phone call. Hang on a second. Good. Hey, the only thing I have to add to that domestic was that truck plate that I put in the CAD. The truck was at the corner when I pulled up. The guy was outside on the phone talking to somebody, and then he took off east on Maryland and then south by Loeb Lake there. And so I followed that truck. First I went through Creamy Cone, I followed the truck, and then I stopped the truck. I didn't even know if it was related at that point, but I just figured it might be since he was in that vicinity. So he claimed he was talking to the woman, but he said it was a female on female domestic, which I'm not sure if that's factual. But anyhow, I have no information on his name, but she probably had that. Did she give that to you or not? Oh. Well, there's only so much you can do then. Just throw that plate in there as one of the parties. Okay. Yeah, I could probably identify him if Emmerich wants to send me a picture of him if you need that. I don't know. But you don't really have a victim at this point. Yeah. All right, so it turned. I didn't know that those were related until you just called. But the rolling domestic at Larpenteur was the same as the creamy cone. Yeah. Yeah. What's his physical on the? What do you know? Look, he's a stockier guy, heavier set. Yeah, send that to me and I'll let you know if it's the same guy. All right, thank you. Thank you, bye-bye. So it turns out that that rolling domestic that we were looking for over on the east side was the same domestic that was going on at the creamy cone, and that the plate that we had run turned out to be the same plate that they were looking for over on the previous one. So he just sent me a picture of the guy that was supposedly in that truck. Same guy, but the victim was not cooperative at all. She just she didn't want to cooperate. Unfortunately, said she didn't trust the police. So we got intelligence, but not necessarily anything to actually ever charge a person with domestic assault, although it isn't clear. Probably was him just assaulting her. So that was the St. Paul officer just wanting to know what I knew about the creamy cone. He was the east side officer, then he found out that other call was related. Somewhere, somehow, the pieces all tie together. All right, we're over on the west side, and turn that radio back up so we can hear what's going on. It's nice having you drive along with me. It's enjoy letting you see what we do. Sorry it's not a little busier. When we get to Annapolis up here, Annapolis is the border with West St. Paul. And unfortunately, West St. Paul is not dispatched by our dispatch center. So on our radios in our cars, we cannot hear them. So Dakota County and West St. Paul have a different system. But a lot of officers that work the west side actually carry a scanner or have their radios programmed so that they can hear what's happening across Annapolis. Because there is a fair amount of activity. It's not unusual for stolen cars to be coming in to St. Paul. So right here is the border. The border with West St. Paul. We'll actually drive into West St. Paul and see if we'll give them a little extra help over here for a little bit, just to give you some perspective of how close the major commercial district is.
262 UT.
Have a nice night. 2346.
Sheriff Hutchinson called me and he wants to ride along some night. We can ride over into Hennepin County a little bit. He's been putting deputies in downtown Minneapolis to help on some of the activity there as well. I think if we keep going, we'll run into Signal Hills Shopping Center. So we're still on Robert Street going south. This is Butler. In another half mile, I'm going to turn us around and go back. But a lot of activity here that bubbles up into St. Paul. There's the shopping center. Used to be a movie theater over there. I don't know if it's still there. Doesn't look like it. Well, there's the St. Paul police car. Over here in West St. Paul.
Emergencies.
Copy.
531.
531.
Change of plan. Drop this guy off at Robert and Logan. You can clear this assisted with 535.
$23.48.
Police officers do technically have authority throughout the state of Minnesota because their license comes from the state. There are a lot of departments, though, that will restrict their activities to their own city. Some of them allow them to, operate outside their borders, certainly investigators, etc.
2164.
But really, it's technically up to the chief what the extent. Now we're back
260.
crossing Annapolis.
276 Exchange Street South, 4 pause for an audible alarm covering main motion.
Receive.
29.
Let's just check to see what we got going here. Loud noise at 1800 Manton Street, Maplewood. Nice thing is, when it is slow, a lot of these officers are out doing proactive police visits to the trouble spots, the hot spots, and you can see them on the board here. You can see that they're out there checking on areas just to keep things quiet.
Two 7-3 cancel 260.
260, you're clear.
260 we clear, thank you.
2350. 361.
As some parties come outside, I'll be chatting with them.
Alright, well, back down the hill to Robert and Concord, Cesar Chavez. Cinco de Mayo parade is one of the finest. Unfortunately, with COVID, didn't happen this year, but fun, lively activity. Cherokee Heights Park is over here, of course. Could go up there. There's not a lot of crime up there, but
2364.
I gotta tell you,
Put me on a investigate.
I'm a very avid Winter Carnival treasure hunter,
Victoria, 2251.
and I've been digging up there at Cherokee a number of years, and it's a beautiful view of the city when you're up there. When we built the Ice Palace in 1992 down at Harriet Island, that was one of my favorite places to take a look and realize how beautiful downtown can be. Ice Palace, Cathedral in the background.
There you go.
This will be a report, 910 361. May we be en route to PT?
Affirmative, I'll show you around. 2062.
All quiet on the west side, or the western front, as they say. Swing by the Holiday there at Plato and Wabasha.
Code 4, you can cancel 6-3.
2163, you can be clear.
6-3 copies. Cancel 2164 and we'll go to that.
2164, you're clear.
6-4 copy, thank you.
2353.
2364.
224.
224.
I'm gonna stop at the Holiday and take a look at the phone to see
5.
some other questions.
2353.
I'm just going to be waiting outside with blue hat. Copy. 513, you can cancel all those buds. 129, you're clear. 129,
St. Paul cars are stopped here for a little break for some coffee.
513.
Thanks to the slowness of the night.
There's Arch Street, apartment 905, secondhand information. Caller speaking to her mother and says that someone's attempting to break into her apartment. She is talking to her on the phone right now and is not on scene.
Copy. I just got sent to Franklin West.
My apologies.
I see a few calls stacking up in the queue there, so it looks like it's getting a little busier. We'll stick around for a little longer. I was thinking of taking a break and letting you go, but we'll just hang in there for a little bit longer. But the number 651-448-3810. 448-3810.
2355. 223 and 225.
Go for both.
100 Arch Street, apartment 905, assisting with a party who's trying to burglarize caller's mother. Says initially somebody was trying to break in and now they're trying to open it.
Why are there so many expired tabs? Someone wants to know. It's because of COVID. The state really hasn't been getting the new tabs out there, and there is a waiver on that. So I got to be honest with you, even a lot of our squad cars, our unmarked squad cars, don't have current tabs because the state hasn't been issuing them. So we do give people breaks on those tabs.
202 PPV.
And on a regular basis, we're told by the people, we can't get them, and they're right, they can't. We've checked, we can't get them ourselves. This is the TRIA rink here, the old Dayton's building, but we're the wild practice on the right here. Pretty amazing facility. What do we got here?
2432.
2432.
On the OT over there. 202.
202.
I actually got the flag down. We'll be out at 281 5th Street regarding a complaint.
Yeah, I just got a nice text from somebody whose dad, Terry O'Brien, I worked with years ago. Great guy. I had a lot of good mentors. I was very, very lucky. When I came on in '77, a lot of World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, a lot of good people that trained us in back then. Someone wants to know why we touch the back of the vehicle. I mean, it's an old habit just to make sure the trunk is shut. There have been crazy times where people have been in the trunk, and the last thing you want to happen is that somebody pops out of the trunk while you're dealing with the driver. So you just make sure it's shut tight. So I'm just thinking of Terry O'Brien makes me think of
2160.
makes me think of a couple other guys that have passed. You know, I mentioned Rick Klein earlier, just a great cop, worked up on in the Midway with me, and eventually worked in traffic. Just a kind-hearted soul, but a great police officer, and did some security up at church too as well. Up at, hang on a second.
It appears broken outside.
But my wife tells me not to tell so many sad stories, but I was thinking about
Check around a little bit, but that's likely what happened.
one of our officers that got killed in a car accident back when I was a young deputy.
9173, 9171.
And you know, you lose track of sometimes you lose track of a car in a chase, and then all of a sudden it hits somebody else. It's just,
It sounded like someone was trying to open the window to her daughter's bedroom.
we've lost police officers for a variety of ways. Of course, the worst day, of course, was with Ronnie Ryan Jr. and Tim Jones being killed in 1994, August 26, 1994, by Guy Harvey Baker. It's a terrible day. It's bad enough to lose one, but you probably should never lose two at one time. We all regretted that, because we thought we ought to be good enough to catch the suspect before he was able to get one of us. And Tim Jones was probably one of the finest aggressive officers we had when it came to catching people, working his canine, and very good friends with Ronnie Ryan, and wanted to make sure he could bring the suspect to justice. But didn't work out that day. Anyhow, back to the radio.
They're all going.
But John O'Brien was the officer killed. Dude, what's his name? Forrest and Geranium. I was working that night, and two of the suspects died as well on that day, but huge loss. And Rich Fillmore, his partner, was disabled for, you know, in many ways for a long time.
Oh, you. 2160, there's a waterfall in the A stairwell. That ought to be the southwest corner.
I'm gonna run up there. They got some type of problem at the Grand Prix Apartments.
1 minute.
There. It's good to get out of the city a little bit, as long as it's just slow. Looks like they got water running. That's a water main break in an apartment complex.
2163.
2163.
It's not already stated, there is smoke on the 3rd floor.
Copy, smoke on the 3rd floor. Room 2.
Well, keep the lights on and get up there.
283, right at United.
That's the county cars. Our deputies are out there on some type of fire, and apparently there's smoke there as well. But
with West. And then can you put me in front of
it sounds like they're
31?
Well, I'm not going to guess, but typically if there's smoke in an apartment building, they'll try to evacuate everyone out of the building.
Unoccupied.
So
Mike. Give it to me again. It's going to be Minnesota 379 Whiskey Hotel Mike. Heavy. Spy 129. Go ahead. Squads that can assist. 101 to copy. 1743 Thomas on a party that's been shot. 2 suspects, black male in his 20s, heavy build, tan shirt with a handgun. Other male, thin build, white shirt.
I think we'll divert to the shooting.
Incident.
Copy.
162 will go.
1700 Thomas.
101, copy.
4 minutes.
Still a ways away, 1700 block of Thomas, but we got 2 suspect descriptions, so even if it takes us a while to get there.
Information to squads. It sounds like West is responding to 1737 Thomas for a person who was shot. 2 suspects, black males, 20s, heavy, tan shirt with a handgun. The other male's thin build, wearing a white t-shirt. Unknown if they're on foot or still unseen. Information in 4 minutes.
Change to 1737 Thomas.
Today, copy.
ETJ to a suspicious police market advice and send us that assault. Heavy.
It's a little shortcut here to get over on Pierce Butler and get off on Thomas, but we stayed on the side streets there through Thomas and be forever with the traffic, so.
Code 312, check your status.
Code 4.
Code 4, 6 minutes.
Heavy.
Still busy at the Holiday, 1206. So 1700 block of Thomas is
220.
on the other side. Remember, Snelling is 1580. So you add 120 there. So we got it's a ways to go. Because we're down at Western, which is 380. So we're gonna take Minnehaha. Minnehaha is a bigger street right here.
260.
180, 250, 184.
Thomas is actually a quarter mile south of us.
5182.
It's just that street doesn't compare in terms of safety.
5184.
Safety and
2295 Wright Street, Speedway. Comes out as destroying her vehicle and was spitting on her. It's a 28-year-old white female, Samantha, black shirt, black pants. Currently inside the store. She also hit her. We do have medics around.
5182, copy.
Doesn't sound like anybody's on the scene yet at Thomas. The problem is because it's out there on the other side of Snelling.
Okay, sure, I copy that as well.
People don't get there very fast.
Squad 324.
324.
I'll be clear here. 1626 Viper Avenue North on an investigate.
Copy, 1626 Viper, on investigate even.
So we're past Dale. That's 620, of course.
Clear out unfounded. With comments for 273.
We still got 2.5 miles here to get there. That's the problem when most of the squads are down.
324.
Most of the squads spend their time down in the busy areas. Then when you get a call on the other side of Snelling.
300-3298.
19, we're on the scene. Is there any suspect info or anything?
Squad is on scene now, asking for suspect info.
From the caller, black male, 20s, heavy build, tan shirt with a handgun. Seconds, black male, white shirt, thin.
We're just past Lexington. That's 1100. I mean, it is. We do get a fair number of phony calls. I don't think this is one, but it's just.
634.
634.
You notice we try to use the whole lane.
Suspect currently left in a gray Pontiac G6. Looks maybe west in the alley.
Gray
Suspects left in a gray Pontiac G6 westbound in the alley.
Okay. Pontiac G6. If my 15-year-old was here, he'd know exactly what that looks like. So now I'll turn my red lights off, knowing we're looking for a car, rather than letting them know who I am. Instead of hurrying to get there to look for somebody on foot and set up a perimeter.
We have a 1 over the other one at Thomas and Aldine.
Thomas and other.
So Snelling is 1580, so this is 1640, and Aldine that we're coming up on is 1700. And Thomas is 4 short blocks south of us, so.
$115, is there anybody with a roll of tape that can swing to the alleyway?
Affirmative, affirmative.
There's the medic rig. It's pulling up. Looks like the crime scene. Oh, there's the victim. The victim is on the ground. I don't know why the medic rig would go by him.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you? Is there more than one victim, or? Well, this is just somebody else. Okay, we're still looking for a car, big Pontiac. All right. Thank you. So the guy laying there is involved somehow, but not a victim. And the victim is down at the house. Car left westbound in the alley. Hopefully we'll get more information out of the parties. I'm going to call up to our office where we monitor cameras. Call Emmerich.
Archie, this is Kelly.
Hey Kelly, it's Bob.
Hey.
Do we have any cameras out at Fairview, or how far do they go?
Fairview and Uni is all.
So if they went westbound in that alley, they would probably end up on Fairview?
Possibly, yes. I've been trying to look.
Yeah, if you can take a peek on that Fairview camera, I mean, that's the most likely way they would go, is out to Fairview and then south. But
right.
115.
And we're looking for a Pontiac. Can you send me a picture what that type of Pontiac looks like?
You guys 012
Sure.
uniform leave.
I have no idea, you know. Obviously. Hang on.
You'll be what?
Hang on a second. I just listened to what he said about ER.
William Borak. Thank you.
Yeah, if you come up with anything, send me a picture of what that car looks like. But then also, if you come up with any thing that you saw come through the intersection.
Yep, I will.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
So we do have a series of cameras on University Avenue that we can look at, and it's very possible if they were fleeing this area, they'd go southbound on Fairview, across University Avenue. Sometimes we can get a camera shot of the car. On rare occasion, we can even get a plate, but probably not tonight. It's too dark. Gray Pontiac G6. Well, let's go patrol the rest of the city for the gray Pontiac G6. Oh, my good friend Pat Scott sent me a picture of the car. Thank you, Pat. That was quick. Appreciate that.
One. 160, if you don't have it, can you add plate 012, Yuma, Uniform Lima with X-ray? Heavy.
Back to Snelling University. Eastbound University at Snelling. Looking for a suspect vehicle.
129. 129. We following the medics to the hospital. Heavy.
Well, that's a good sign. If he was dead at the scene, they would leave him and let the homicide investigators and the medical examiner come out. But if they're following him to the hospital, that means he isn't deceased. Check out this car in this lot. You guys will have to help me if you see a car that matches. This is the McDonald's, which technically isn't open, but sometimes people try to
809.
disappear right in front of you.
809. Can we put me out on that shooting over in West, and I'll be heading down to the hospital. Heavy.
Out of here. A lot of people coming to eat at McDonald's at 12:15. I want to see that car there. Medics to the hospital with the victim. that. Yeah, that wasn't good. We're gonna have to get a better mount, huh? Just trying to check out that car, see if I can figure out what he was doing. Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna go down to Carty Park down there on Carroll and St. Albans, Avon. See if there's any activity down there.
Can you check the area around 223 Roby Street? An open line female gave address, struggling with her female saying, her male was saying, don't have the police come, and saying, I don't like when you do that. Male and female were arguing, and female's asking male to stop. We have no previous history beyond a 911 call.
And that is over on the west side, Roby.
25 minutes.
We're eastbound on Marshall from Lexington now.
4471 traffic.
4471.
Until we get a license plate on that
Boyber
car.
and Lavender with a black or dark green Solera, no plates.
It'll be pretty tough to pick out that car at nighttime.
Copy, Whiteberry, Lavender, green Solera, no plates, 26 minutes.
Black male named Antone at 6 foot tall. Also says he's trying to come through the door. Colors of paraplegic.
4483, I'll do a 7-1.
Yep.
Hey, guys, that region.
Probably going to wrap up around 1 o'clock, another half hour for those of you that are staying up.
At 27 minutes.
Again, sorry it's been a little quiet, but catch you again on the weekend. I'm hoping that we can make the Friday night the regular night.
Avenue East on a motor vehicle stuff. Take on 521 November uniform uniform. Left in its place are 3 bicycles and unrelated. Received. 27.
Down
211, just be advised, caller did call back and said that a male, black male, was following her and in a gray shirt, gray pants, just passing Westside Community Services at 153 Caesar Chavez. 28 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta make a U-turn here.
324, thank you.
And I gotta give a shout out to a young man that's just doing great things.
Probably up, yeah, I'm just going to give him a call.
I might have mentioned him earlier, Mickey Frost. Gonna take a drive by his place called the Truth Center. Now, I think I might have mentioned him, maybe I didn't, but Mickey and I met when he was a young man and I was coaching basketball. I don't know much about basketball, to be honest with you, but I was coaching basketball in the Night Moves program back in the 80s. And he was a young man. It was the beginning of the gang problems here in St. Paul. And I could tell this kid had something special.
29 minutes.
So we've kept in contact periodically over the years. And He's developed a program called the Truce Center.
224.
224.
And his office is at
PBV. Here's Park, please.
Selby and Lexington. And
29 minutes.
he actually, in his office here, in this Truce Center, he has the pictures of all the young men that have died in the last couple years from gang shootings. And he tries to talk to the kids about how futile it all is and get them to the Truce Center. The concept is to have a truce.
29 minutes.
And he's already derailed some shooting incidents and done a great job, but he's looking for role models that can help these kids. There's his building across the street there, northwest corner of Lexington. And right there, the 8218 Truce Center. So here's the thing. He's taken a group of young men with him on a field trip to Washington, D.C.
And 211 color shift. He's at Caesar Chavez and Robert.
We're going to help him make sure that he can. And the goal is to
30 minutes.
to take those kids and mentor them through not just the trip, but through life. So we're going to do what we can to help him make sure that trip happens and that he can become, you know, a father figure really to a lot of those kids. He's 50 some years old now, but still has the heart of a 20-year-old. So you can look him up on Facebook, Mickey Frost, and you know, follow him and just pay attention to what he does, because he was a good friend of Philando Castile as well, and he's been in the middle of, you know, pushing for reform on a number of fronts, but he also knows that we got to convince these kids to stop shooting at each other. We don't have enough Mickeys out there. There are a lot of people, but not enough. So one of the other ones that's real active, and Tyrone Terrell, he's doing a great job for us, trying to mobilize the community to get these kids to stop shooting at each other. And then Reverend Spence, I mentioned Reverend Spence, Pastor Patterson over at New Hope, and just a lot of good religious leaders. But we need some of these young kids to help mentor these guys off their track. So I don't, like I said, I can't read any of your comments because I'm driving, so I have no idea, you know, what's taking place out there in the cybersphere. If I did, I probably couldn't concentrate.
Maplewood's by the back on an alarm at Battle Creek Aquatic Center, 2401. 119, Kenzo, we've got it. Nice.
The bus is still running up on Selby.
Did you copy?
Thank you.
That's 33 minutes.
I better just check this out real quick. Make sure everybody's all right here. Everybody okay? Everybody good? Pardon me? Very good, Derek. Have a good night. God bless. Derek Hutchinson said he's fine. He does not want any help. Car was stalled there in the middle of the street. A couple people were outside of it.
44 or 47. I'm gonna replace 3-3. He's aware. Copy at 34 minutes.
So obviously Selby has improved. Western, Selby, all this whole district, a lot of it's amazing development. It all started with George Latimer. Shout out to George for all the development work he did up here to create this environment.
Yeah, Fuller.
My favorite breakfast places is the Louisiana Cafe. I highly recommend the Cajun breakfast.
Copy, I'm going to attempt to call the account first. Copy.
None of this would have happened if George Latimer hadn't used some of those urban development grants to save this neighborhood. And I had the pleasure of serving with him on the city council for a while, and really one of the finest, not just elected people, one of the finest men I've ever met. And just we need more politicians like him.
Well, the Sean Plato at 35 minutes.
Didn't always agree with him. That was okay with him. There's some positions he took that I didn't support, but he was always trying to do what was best for the community. And deserves a lot of credit for moving ahead. Sometimes these elected officials, they give their lives to this job, and people don't ever realize how much they gave. So we're down here at Western and Selby. Of course, W.A. Frost on one corner, Nina's on the other, Costello's. Now it's called the Handsome Hog. It's
9173. 9173.
Moscow on the hill. Just great.
Report.
And you'll notice when we're going east on Selby, straight ahead would be the First National Bank. It's directly on the line. And then, of course, the cathedral on our left here.
Oh, 324, 381.
324 and 381.
324.
381.
Someone's around earlier. Cop called back for 1175 Ross Avenue in Disorderly. Dale's not leaving Tom's address. He's got an open line with her yelling. 324, copy.
1181 Ross in Disorderly.
37 minutes.
Looking at the calls that are in the queue here. There's one down on. Okay.
225.
225.
Can you have the cop come out and speak to us? We're on the 5th floor. We're not getting any answers to it.
Affirmative.
Not a lot going on.
211.
I'm going to start heading home here.
Female of the 5th of Minnesota.
See if anything happens en route.
5th of Minnesota. 30 minutes.
Again, 651-448-3810.
Code for 38 minutes.
Did get a question earlier about the drowning at Hidden Falls. We did have a young boy that drowned. You know, rivers are very dangerous in terms of the current and the undertow. We do have equipment, sonar equipment, in some cases not as good as others, but we have a great relationship with Hennepin County, and we both have.
I spoke with caller. He says he's hooked up and.
We both have different equipment we can share. We have boats, sonar. There's something called side sonar as well that looks sideways, not just forward, in case you're under barges, etc. But we both have dive teams, so spend a lot of time in the water, those guys, and you got to give them a lot of credit. We are going to do a special show just on our dive team. Probably not live, it might be a little hard to do that, but just showing you all the equipment they have and what they do, what they use. But we've recommended to the city and the county that they get some signage get up there, because this was the second drowning we had down there this year, and people really shouldn't be in the water. I'm gonna drive up Rice Street on my way home.
40 minutes.
Just keep in mind when you do send texts, if you don't put your name, I don't know who you are. Just get the number. Even if you're in my contacts on my own phone, on this phone, I don't know who you are. So it's fun to kind of have at least your first name as to who asking the questions. We're gonna follow this little gray car now. I don't know one. If we were talking about the 70s and 80s cars, I know them all, but that's a Grand Prix. Probably is sort of similar. This car's got no bumper. A lot of people still out and about.
.44, 47 long.
Take one more drive through here just to make sure all is well. Back to the house.
5182 transport.
How's it going? Good. Good to see ya.
One adult female from.
Some people are taking the COVID seriously. That guy had a face mask on here.
Washington Avenue South, Minneapolis.
Cars.
206. Swapped her out.
There's a tobacco shop over there too that pulls a lot of business in. That's good. You're taking the COVID seriously, huh? That's good. Smart. No, I don't blame you. Oh, I'm very sorry. How old was she? Yeah, it's not good. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Me too. It's coming back. It's coming back strong.
226 1310 Park Street, apartment 207. said their access outside
No?
by her truck.
I think you're the smart one. You know,
Capri.
don't let anybody spit get on you too. You know, people are half the time down here they're yelling anyhow. You know.
There's a 72-hour
Yeah.
posted this email.
Yeah. 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 Good for you. I'm sorry about your mom. Did you bury her already, or? Yeah, because it's supposed you can't have large funerals anymore either. So.
If 226 just be advised that his number told is for felony
Yeah.
level threats of violence. She did threaten to kill him.
Yeah. Which church did you bury her at?
But no company for you.
Minneapolis? Okay. Yep. Who's the pastor there? Okay. Yeah. Very sorry. Have a good night. Thank you.
You can change this to assist citizen, clear assist with 213, and I can start with 224. Last time traffic clear, I can.
Copy 690 Juno. Colors, girlfriend's ex-boyfriend.
Which one?
Starting to rain a little bit now.
So we had 1717 prior after north in relation.
You know, one thing you could let me know, I mean, like on the weekends, and I don't know whether it's Friday or Saturday, but you know, if you have a preference, if you think Friday night or Saturday night is best, probably going to do Fridays like from 9 to 1 or 10 to 2. That way you don't have to get up early in the morning for church. But you know, if you got a preference of places to go or what to see, coming by Bourne's again one more time. How's it going? Well, they were wearing masks. That's a good sign. Gonna go up to Tin Cups, and then we're gonna call it a night from Tin Cups. Don't forget to get down to Dar's Double Scoop, right there. Say hi to Kevin. Tell him Bob sent you there. Might give you an extra scoop. Quality ice cream. Didn't stop for Twinkies tonight because, like I said, people sent me a couple boxes of Twinkies. My wife says I'm going to start looking like one if I keep eating them.
Okay. The latest is it's life-threatening. He's going into surgery now. I'm going to pull Zach and Andy and go back to HQ to run his name, see if we got anything on him. The victim.
So the victim out on Thomas now, it's life-threatening. He's going into the emergency room. And if for some reason it looks like he is going to die, they'll do a much more thorough scene investigation and freeze it for a longer period of time and have the investigation. Because if he's not, the charge will be enhanced, obviously.
Are you guys good at the scene? Do you need anything there?
That officer actually thinks he's on a car-to-car channel, but he's transmitting on the main.
You broke up. You good?
All right, well, thank you for joining me. Send me your text or comments. 651-448-3810. Sorry it wasn't busier, but we had some interesting things, and There we go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.